Hey guys, hope you're doing well. So we are back with a brand new episode of our new series on history of computers. In this episode, we will be discussing about how ancient calculations were done and also the development of Abacus. So stay tuned and let's get started. So before moving forward, let me ask you a question. So what do you mean by the word computer? Okay, let me change the question and let me show you two images. Now name the following images, what are they? So I hope your answer will be like that. The first one is a abacus and the second one is a computer. I hope I correctly judged you. But what if I say the thing in both images is referred to a computer? Yes, the both images are of computer. Because the word computer comes from the Greek word compute, which means to calculate. And as we can do calculation with the use of both of these devices. Yes, today's computers are much more powerful than the early generation. They can perform much more complex tasks, none like the earlier ones which are used to perform only mathematical calculations. So I hope you get to know the answer of the above question. Now the meaning of the word computer is same for 21st century and also for the early 19th century. But the uses of both these centuries computer have changed vastly. Now moving ahead, how calculations were done before the invention of Abacus. So before the invention of Abacus, various methods were used for performing calculations. These methods varied depending on the time period, culture and level of mathematical sophistication. Here are some notable methods used for calculations before the Abacus. First one is finger counting. It is one of the earliest methods of counting and simple arithmetic involved using fingers. People would use these fingers to represent numbers and perform basic calculations like addition, subtraction. Next is tally sticks. Tally sticks were used by ancient civilizations to record and keep track of quantities. Notches or marks were made on sticks to represent numbers and counts. Tally sticks were particularly used for recording, keeping and basic arithmetic. Moving ahead to counting stones. Some cultures use stones or pebbles to represent numbers and perform calculations. Stones were arranged or moved to indicate quantities and perform basic arithmetic operations. Next is counting boards. Early counting boards or tablets had grooves or lines curved into them. Pebbles or tokens were placed in these grooves to represent numbers and perform calculations. Counting boards were used by ancient civilizations like the Sumerians and the Egyptians. Now the last is mental calculation. Skilled mathematicians and individuals with the mathematical training were able to perform complex calculation mentally. Mental calculation techniques were developed and taught to perform arithmetic operations without the aid of tools or devices. Now these methods, although primitive compared to modern computing technology, were effective for performing basic arithmetic and keeping track of quantities. The invention of the abacus represented a significant advancement in calculating devices, providing a structured and efficient tool for arithmetic calculations that could be used by a wide range of people. Now moving ahead to a brief history of abacus. So the word abacus derived from the Greek word abax, which means tabular form. It was said to be invented by ancient Babylon in between 300 to 500 BC. Abacus was the first counting machine. Earlier it was fingers, stones or any various kinds of natural material, as we discussed already. It was widely in use in different countries from Middle East to Japan, Russia, China as well as Europe. Now abacus throughout the ages. The timeline can be divided into three categories. First is ancient times from 300 BC to 500 BC. Some of the examples are Salamis tablet from Greek and Roman calculi. Moving ahead to Middle Age from 5 CE to 1400 CE. Some of the examples are the Abacus, the coin board and the line board from the Western Europe. And the last is modern times from 1200 AD to present. Some of the examples are Swan pen from China, Soroban from Japanese and Soti from Russia. Now moving ahead to features and disadvantages of abacus. So the abacus is a versatile and ancient calculating tool that has been used for centuries. It has several features that make it useful, especially in educational settings, but it also has some limitations. Here are the features and disadvantages of the abacus. So let's start with the pros. Starting from versatility, the abacus can perform basic arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. It can handle both whole numbers and decimals. Next is physical representation. The beads or counters on the abacus provide a physical representation of numbers, making it easier for user to visualize and understand mathematical concepts. Next is educational tool. The abacus is often used as an educational tool to teach arithmetic skills, place value and mental math strategies. It helps develop number sense and problem solving abilities. Next is portable and durable. Traditional abaci are portable and durable, making them suitable for use in various environments including classrooms, homes and businesses. And the last is cultural heritage. The abacus holds cultural significance in many societies and is considered a symbol of mathematical prowess, tradition and historical continuity. Now the cons or disadvantages of abacus. Starting from limited complexity. While the abacus is effective for basic arithmetic calculations, it may not be suitable for complex mathematical operations or advanced mathematical concepts. Next is learning curve. Mastering the abacus requires practice and training. Some individuals may find it challenging to learn the techniques and methods for using the abacus efficiently. Now manual operations. The abacus requires manual manipulation of beads or counters, which can be time consuming for large calculations compared to electronic calculators or computers, not digital. Unlike digital computing devices, the abacus does not provide exact numerical values but rather a visual representation of numbers. This can lead to rounding errors or inaccuracies in calculations. And the last is limited functionality. While modern abaci may have additional features such as color-coded beads or reversible counting rods, they still have limitations compared to electronic calculators or computers in terms of functionality and speed. Now in the summary, the abacus is a valuable tool for learning and teaching or arithmetic skills, especially in educational settings. However, its manual operation, limited complexity and dependence on physical manipulation make it less suitable for complex calculations or advanced mathematical concepts. Now moving ahead, is abacus required today? The abacus is still widely used in Asian schools and some Western schools also in Japan and China. Abacus competition is a big thing. The abacus tool is now mainly used to teach place values in number systems and multiplication to the children. The abacus is now available in the form of portable computing device. In the 21st century, the abacus is now used as teaching tool only. So when the Hindu number system introduced 0 and also the Arabic number system came into use, the use of abacus diminished and it became limited to counting the place values of numbers only. So I hope you got an idea of the development of abacus. So thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. Stay tuned.